My current favorite proposal that would be a covenant proposal, but also does a whole bunch else, is something called opcat. An opcat is a new opcode, or a new version of a very old opcode, which on a technical level, what it does, it takes two pieces of data within the script interpreter and just puts them together. That's all it does. And it's this very simple, right? You can write this in like 5 lines of code. If you don't do some validation, you can do it in 1 line of code, but we need to. So so opcat was actually present in Bitcoin way back in 2009 through half of 2010. So I guess less than 2 years of Bitcoin's life. We had opcat. And there was a problem with Satoshi's implementation, which was that it didn't validate how large the data would be after you concatenated it. So if there are 2 items on the stack, or if there aren't 2 items on the stack, then fail. If the 2 items together are too big, then fail. Otherwise, stick them together and put it back on the stack. Dead simple. And what's fascinating about this is that it enables a weak form of covenants. Super general Swiss Army knife kind of thing that can do, a million different things. It doesn't do any of them necessarily very well or efficiently, but it's a dead simple upgrade. But because it doesn't do them very well, it's not going to step on the toes of other covenant proposals, right? We could deploy cat, and nobody's going to say, let's not do CTB because cat already does what CTB does, or let's not do SIG-init prevout because that's already what opcat does, or let's not add better arithmetic opcodes because you can already do it with cat, and it does a few things well as well. Like, it's not all just like a million bad things. It does a couple things well, notably verifying Merkle trees. But it's a very simple, safe soft fork that would lead us into a world where people can actually do these new things with Bitcoin. Maybe not as efficiently as they might like, but then we can start getting feedback from users. Then we can say, well, what are people actually doing? What do they want to do so badly that they're willing to do it with cat? What are they doing with covenants? What ideas do we have about vaults or rate limits? Or there's a proposal from Jeremy Rubin as part of CTB where you use covenants to send a payment to thousands of people, like from an exchange, and then those individual people decide the network fee and decide when and how to actually withdraw the funds. So it's cheaper for the exchange and more control for the user. There's all these kind of things that maybe sound good on paper but don't work in real life, or the opposite, things that we think are gross and ugly on paper, but then it turns out that people really want to do them. Well, if we have cat there to bring us from impossible to possible, then we can start seeing that and getting feedback and informing our future covenant proposals and stuff like that.